The second full trailer of a Ghostbuster Afterlife introduces a new generation of Spanglers to the family business of a ghostbusting. It teases the return of the Raymond Stange and introduces both new and a familiar ghost.
Cast of a movie.
Directed by the Jason Reitman, son of the original Ghostbuster director Evan Reitman, Ghostbuster Afterlife is set in the present day and move away from the traditional setting of a New York City rural Oklahoma. Egan Spengler, daughter Kelly and grandchildren Trevor and Phoebe find themselves broken with no inheritance except for an old farmhouse in the town of Somerville. There Trevor and Phoebe find a Ecto-1 and other relics from their grandfather ghostbusting days and use them to take a new outbreak of ghosts that threatens to trigger the apocalypse. Along with the new cast member, Ghostbuster Afterlife will also see the return of the Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, and Annie Potts in their role of the original 1984 movie. Here is the breakdown of the biggest story reveal and the Easter egg in the second trailer of a Ghostbuster Afterlife. Though the Ghostbuster Afterlife may have plenty of familiar props from the original movie, one thing that will be radically different is its setting of Somerville, Oklahoma. In the breakdown of a trailer, Jason Reitman explained, obviously the franchise is synonymous with the New York City, but we wanted to go to somewhere new. We wanted to go to the American West. We wanted to go to farmland. One of the very first ideas the director came up with when visualizing the sequel of Ecto-1, we drifting through a field, which isn't exactly something that can be done in the New York City. Somerville is also integral to the story as Egan Spengler family try to figure out why exactly he moved such a remote area. Immediately upon the Spengler family arrival at the Egan old farmhouse Somerville, it is clear that there is something unusual about it. A sort of the house shows a large collection of antenna on the roof, which is Reitman says was meant to be echo the top of the Ecto-1. Beyond simply being a visual homepage of an old Ghostbuster car, this equipment also hint that Egan was carefully monitoring supernatural activity in the surrounding area using his expertise on the building ghost detecting tech. Who you gonna call? Ghostbuster? But a person who actually pick up the phone when the New Yorkers call about the troublesome spook in the Ghostbusters secretary Zenny, played by Annie Potts. Zenny was the romantic interest of the Egan throughout the Ghostbuster franchise, and Ghostbuster Afterlife revealed that she and Egan end up together and had a daughter Kelly. Annie returns in the new trailer of her Afterlife and tells Kelly, your father wasn't a homemaker, he could hardly keep the power on. Of course, the Egan line of work, there are a number of possible reasons why the light might be flickering. Simple shapes are boring. Instead, Egan hid his great invention under a floorboard and guarded it with a puzzle that Phoebe is seen carefully solving the Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer. This may be seen as Spengler's way keeping the ghost trap safe for whenever he is needed it, but he could also be hidden it below the floorboard because it contains a particularly troublesome ghost. Phoebe and Trevor Spengler are not initially aware of their family legacy or what their grandfather did for living. As the children of 21st century, they naturally turn to the internet for the answer. There they find a originally Ghostbuster commercial that has been uploaded to the YouTube. Besides the nostalgia factor, they are also ensured that member of the original team make an appearance in the Ghostbuster Afterlife. Even Egan, who has been played by the late Harold Ramis. Egan Spengler was a brilliant scientist and a professor at Columbia University, and in the 1984 movie, he is responsible for building almost all the new iconic ghostbusting equipment used by the team. The gauges most strongly associated with the Spengler is the PKE, Psychokinetic Meter, or Aurascope, which was used by the Ghostbuster to detect the presence of a supernatural. The PKE meter returned in the new trailer of a Ghostbuster Afterlife, with a Spengler kid discovering the original device among their grandfather's collection of the ghostbusting tech. Paul Rudd's character Mr. Gooberson offers a big clue as to why Egan Spengler might buy a farmhouse in middle of a nowhere. Speaking to Phoebe in the new Ghostbuster trailer, Mr. Gooberson explained that the town is experiencing a mysterious earthquake despite being nowhere near any fault line. Gooberson is a seismologist who came to Somerville to investigate the earthquake and has a day job as a summer school teacher in order to pay the bill. This is how he connects with the Spengler family. As a scientifically minded, Phoebe is the only kid in his class who is genuinely interested in the earthquake. Egan likely to came to Somerville for the same reason that Mr. Gooberson did, guessing that the earthquake might have some kind of a supernatural source. Gozer the Destructor is back in a Ghostbuster Afterlife, originally played by the Yugoslavian actress Helvetica Zogan. When the Gozer appeared in the metallic silvery female form, Gozer is a powerful deity that is 1000-year-old and was once worshipped as a god by the Sumerians. In 1984, Ghostbuster Gozer was summoned by the modern-day Klurt with the intention of bringing apocalypse to the Earth humanity. Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer has a brief short figure that crawling out to the hellish portal that could well show how the Gozer returned to our world. The Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer offers up an explanation for the strange earthquake when it's shown Trevor and a group of other kids peering down into a mine shaft that has a sinister reddish-orange glow at the bottom of it before something that looks like a spectral terror dog form comes bursting out of it. It is possible that Somerville is a home of another pocket of the cult of a Gozer, who have invited the deity to emerge from the beneath of their town, having a portal to a hellish parallel dimension hidden underground could be certainly cause of some unusual seismic activity. Later in the trailer, the kids discover something at the bottom of a mine shaft that look an awful lot like an altar to the Gozer. A sort of a kid descending the mine shaft in the elevator that at the bottom is a temple to a Gozer, with a large statue of a deity female from the original Ghostbuster movie that flanked by the statue of a Zul and Vince Clorotho. Surrounding the Gozer statue, a writhing mass of a mortal who are seemingly worshipping the fearsome god or begging for a mercy. And in front of the statue is a deep well containing a gateway-like thing between the Gozer dimension and our own. Aside from the flat top and her faithful canine sidekick, a major element of Gozer gravitas in 1984 Ghostbuster movie was their tendency to surrounded by masses of a rolling dry ice. One shot from the Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer shows the dry ice pouring in the doorway, indicating a presence of portal to Gozer dimension. In the original movie, Zul and Vinzo Clorotho precede the Gozer arrival by taking a possession of a two unfortunate human hosts, Dana and Luis. Given one of the terror dog pursued Mr. Gooberson elsewhere in the trailer, the seismologist may end up being a target for a possession in the afterlife. The Step of Marshmallow Man is one of the iconic supernatural manifestations from the original Ghostbuster movie. The skyscraper-sized monster was created when the Sumerian god Gozer the Gozerian told the Ghostbuster to choose a new form for the destructor. Three of the Ghostbusters carefully kept their mind blank, but the Ray made the mistake of trying to picture something non-threatening and choose the Step of Mascot. Despite the giant Mr. Step of Messi and Gozer may have enjoyed spending time in that form and decided to manifest through this miniature version of it. The mini step of that appear in the Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer might look lot less scary than the Kaiju-sized Mr. Step Up, but in the trailer they demonstrate one of their key advantages. They don't feel the pain. Jason Reitman described mini step up as just like a curious 5-year-old who wanted to break everything, and everything include each other. One mini step up is known apparently having a great time as their friend used a kitchen blowtorch to turn them into a s'more. Gozer in the Ghostbuster 1984 were the damaged god Zul the Gatekeeper and Vince Clortho the Keymaster, who manifested in the form of two terrifying hellhounds known as Terror Dog. Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer shows the updated version of a Terror Dog in both spectral form and the corporeal form. The former is seen attacking the Phoebe as she hide out in the school bus and later burst through a door of a Walmart in pursuit of a Mr. Gooberson. Though many effects in the Ghostbuster Afterlife are entirely practical, as a new terror dog were created by using a combination of a puppetry and a CGI. Ghostbuster Afterlife will feature a selection of a new ghost, one of whom appeared to be a distinct relation of a Slimer from 1984 movie. Muncher, a bulbous blue skunk with many wrinkles and fold, bear a striking resemblance to the Slimer but has added a bonus having a sixth limb, making him resemble a ghostly tardigrade. In the new trailer of a Ghostbuster Afterlife, Muncher is seen fleeing from the new generation of a Ghostbuster as they chase him down in the iconic Ecto-1, which had been few upgrades since it was last seen. Along with the familiar PK meter, a brand new ghost catching gadget appear in the Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer. When the Phoebe and the Trevor are chasing down the Muncher in Ecto-1, the RTV remote vehicle is exactly what it sounds like, a remote control ghost trap on a wheel that can be used to chase down the ghost while driving the Ecto-1. The director Jason Reitman wanted to make the ghost catching process more active and mobile in Ghostbuster Afterlife. To shake things up from the traditional image, Ghostbusters standing in a row with their proton pack to catch the spook. The RTV appeared to be made up of a original ghost trap and some new looking wheels, so this particular invention may be work of the Spangler's grandchildren. Trevor has an aptitude for engineering while Phoebe has inherited her grandfather's love of science. After the ghosts were released in the New York City in the original Ghostbuster movie, there was amusing sort of a businessman climbing into back of a taxi without realizing that his driver was actually a skeletal zombie looking ghost. There is a callback to this in Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer when the skeletal ghost of a miner is seen being served a coffee in a diner. According to Jason Reitman, this skeletal ghost was entirely practical effect, achieved through the puppetry and was intended as a tribute to the skeletal taxi driver from the 1984 film. The pink ghostly streak that emerges from the portal and go flying all over the town don't just look like the effect from the 1984 Ghostbuster movie, they are the same effect. Jason Reitman scanned the original VFX in order to recreate it for the sequel, in order to give Ghostbuster Afterlife an authentically retro feel and maintain the same look for its supernatural going on. The 1989 sequel of a Ghostbuster 2nd revealed that rather being thanked for saving the city from a Gozer attack and preventing an apocalypse, the Ghostbusters were instant sued for the property damage and shut down with a judicial restraining order. The movie picked up 5 years later, with a Ray now making a living as a owner and proprietor of a Ray Oculus book. The end of the Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer shows that the Ray Oculate book is still being run by Ray, though he answers the phone with a rather grumpy greeting of that we are closed. The Ghostbuster Afterlife trailer ends by the teasing the return of a Raymond Stange, who is still working in the Ray Oculate's book, but his face isn't shown in the trailer. The sort of a Ray reveals something new, a tattoo on his arm. The mention of an earthquake is certainly intriguing, given the seismological oddities occurring in the Summer Valley coupled with the Phoebe mention of a possible apocalypse. It's appeared that a Gozer intended to make his Oklahoma town ground zero for the next attempt to destroying the world. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video and push the bell icon for the notification for new videos.